Hello, English activists. This is Dr. Donnelly. I am here to talk to you about doing some preliminary research on your topics in a more out there context. So, you guys have done a lot of research on your topics in terms of our community, and you've discovered what kind of resources exist within our community about your topics. You have discovered who's working on those topics in our community. You may have done some preliminary research and reading around your topic of interest. But this quarter two, we're really digging into doing some research around your topic. And we're going to start with some preliminary research, the kind of stuff that we can get from Google and Wikipedia. And that's going to help you refine your search terms a little bit so that as you go deeper into this process and you're writing for a really more academic audience, you will kind of know the language of your field and be able to write in that language, be able to read in that language, and be able to talk to other experts in the field. That's really our target audience in this unit, other experts in the field, whether that field be education or farming or sustainability or youth development. We want you to be able to kind of speak the language and make arguments within that professional field. So, but how do you start when you're not a professional yet? You're a high school student who is kind of dipping your toe into this area, or maybe, pretty well versed in it, but certainly not a professional yet. Well, of course, you've probably heard me say that we're going to be looking at academic sources, but we can start with more popular sources. We can start in two places. We can start with the regular old search engine, so that will pull up stuff from newspapers and popular websites. And we can also look in Wikipedia. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the research for my topic, which is, as you guys know, I'm researching how to do English in action, essentially how to help you guys master English skills through doing some real work out in the community. So I've actually learned a term as I've started to talk to people, and you guys will be learning terms too. You might already have some terms that you're playing around with. The term that I've learned is authentic learning, authentic audiences, authentic tasks, authentic problems, but that word authentic keeps popping up. And essentially what that means is that the work that we're doing in this class isn't to teach you more about English. It's to teach you how to use English skills like communication and research to do some real work. So I have this idea of authentic audiences, and I'm just going to start by Googling that. Authentic audiences. And I Google it and a bunch of stuff pops up, right? So this is the first thing that pops up. So I'm just going to open that in a new tab. The value of an authentic audience, that's from Edutopia, which I know is a website about education. So I'm going to open that. This is also Edutopia, 4 Paths to Engaging Authentic Purpose and Audience. I'm going to open that up. That Possibilities for Learning has already opened up. So I'm just going to start reading through some of these things. So this is planning with and for highly able learners. Totally think you guys are highly able learners. But this website to me, it seems a little underdone. So I'm going to close this out and actually skip over to this one, which looks a little bit more professional. I've heard of Edutopia. It's an educational foundation, apparently paid for by George Lucas. So thanks, George Lucas. But it says student engagement, the value of authentic audience. Providing students with an audience helps them understand why their coursework is valuable and worthwhile, and that's exactly what I want to convince you guys of. So this seems like it'll be a really valid source. It goes through and tells me what an authentic audience looks like. It's going to really help me kind of define those terms, connect to the Common Core, which I need to do for my job. How can I create an authentic audience for my students' work? Ooh, that's good. Start with familiar faces. Okay, that's like when we have you email a teacher, I think. Continue with notable locals. Hey, you've been doing some notable locals. Reach out for a cold call. We've definitely had to do some of that. So that's been cool. So, and it seems like there's other ideas here. Student engagement, huge for me. Project-based learning. So those are other kind of vocabulary words that I can dig into. And one of the things that our real goal is today is to kind of keep track of what those words are. But like I showed you in the previous video, what I would do now is I would print this to a PDF and put it in my English in Action sources folder so that I can come back to this. And it's also given me some ideas. Student engagement and project-based learning especially, that's another term that I think you guys are doing. You guys are doing projects. You're doing community action projects. So I think what I'll do now, and this is another good looking article, but I'm going to close this out and show you how I would hop over to Wikipedia, our good friend. And a lot of people, are hesitant about Wikipedia for whatever reason. I am absolutely not. I don't think it's a great place to end your research, but it's a really great place to start your research. So I've learned a new term. I had the term authentic audiences, and that led me to this new term of project-based learning. And this will probably be a really good place for me to start. The thing that I like about Wikipedia is that the entries tend to be really long. They tend to be really well organized, and they end with a lot of really good resources. So I can always follow up on some of my initial sources by looking at these resources. So some of them are going to link back to places like Edutopia, right? The website that I just came from, into a kind of a different area. What is project-based learning? I can open that link in a new tab. This is the Buck Institute for Education. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's a project-based learning institute. So there's an entire institute based on project-based learning. So that will kind of give me some information. But I also really like to dig into the Wikipedia page itself. It usually starts with a pretty good definition. It's a student-centered based pedagogy that involves dynamic classroom approach in which it is believed that students acquire a deeper knowledge through active exploration of real-world challenges and problems. Man, that's exactly what we're doing in this class. Awesome. Students learn about a subject by working for an extended period of time to investigate and respond to a complex question, challenge, or problem. It is a style of active and inquiry-based learning. PBL, which is project-based learning, contrasts with paper-based rote memorization or teacher-led instruction that presents established facts or portrays a smooth path to knowledge by instead posing questions, problems, or scenarios. And then it says, so what I'm doing by being in Wikipedia is I'm just getting that kind of broad level definition of what it is. And these things are cited. So they hop me back down to the bottom to this Edutopia article. So I can go back and see who wrote this. And this doesn't actually seem like an article. It seems like an entire landing page. So it has lots of different articles on PBL. And so that's kind of what we want you guys to do today. We just want you to start reading around and if you can, saving sources that help you develop a kind of more professional language about your topic and introduce you to kind of what experts in the field are saying so that we can dig in more deeply in the weeks to come.